Hey, what's up guys? Today we're back with another video. Today we're going to be going over which One Piece character will die at the end of the story. We're going to be going over each and every single Straw Hat character and giving one reason, at least for each of them, why they will die and one reason why they won't die. Before we jump into the video, please do subscribe. It helps out the channel and shows your support. Thank you a lot. One Piece is one of the most popular animes and manga ever to exist, having currently over 1,132 manga chapters and over 1,122 anime episodes. Straw Hat Crew consists of Luffy, their captain, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Franky, Brook, and Jinbe. All of them trying to achieve their goals. Now, of course, everyone who's a fan of the show realizes One Piece does not just really kill off characters that much. Like, it kills off characters sometimes. I can think of two major characters where they made a huge deal out of the character dying. Other than that, it's just a bunch of like, oh, they maybe died or they maybe died. And I know all of you are sitting there right now going, oh, no one's gonna die, no one's gonna die. But it has been confirmed by Oda that one Straw Hat will not see the end of the story. First Straw Hat we're gonna start off with is Franky. Honestly, when I was looking into Franky a little more about this, I can't think of a whole lot of reasons why he would be the one to die. Literally the only thing that came to mind was like that he has this new ability that takes the major enemy and him to the grave. Other than that, didn't think a whole lot for reasons for him to die. Because honestly, he's taken a huge step back in the story. Like, since Dressrosa, I feel like he hasn't been as involved as majority of other characters, even a majority of other side characters. Like, I feel like he's taken a huge step back. I would have loved to see something from him in Egghead. Like, that was the guy he studied and researched with, about, like, with Vegapunk. He should have had a huge character defining moment, and I feel like he really just didn't. Next character we're going to talk about is Chopper. The main reasons I could see Chopper dying is just him protecting someone else that's injured or sick on the battlefield, and he just sacrifices his life so that they could live, whether it's another Straw Hat member he's protecting, or just someone else super important to him. The main reasons which make the most sense for me why Chopper isn't going to be the one to die is because he just isn't the huge combat guy. Like, he doesn't get in there and brawl as much as a lot of the other characters do. He doesn't have the big fights like a lot of like Luffy, Zoro, or Sanji. Even him going in there and fighting like the big boss, like that makes me believe he's not gonna be the one. He's not gonna die. Like, it's just not gonna happen most likely. Next character we're gonna talk about is Nami. The main reason why I believe Nami would be the one to die is because of her amount of loyalty towards Luffy shown when in Whole Cake Island, when she was like, nah, Sanji, get out of here. Like, you have to prove yourself again to Luffy, and all the things that like Luffy's done for her, like saving her village. The amount of loyalty that she shows towards Luffy makes me think that she could be the one where she sacrifices herself. But overall, her dying really doesn't make a ton of sense. I really don't see her being the one to die though. She's usually avoiding combat at all costs, or she's trying to distract people, pull them in, and use her tempo moves on them to just get them right out of the way. But yeah, overall, she has some more chance of dying than some other characters, but just don't really see it being her. Moving on to Jinbe, the main reason why Jinbe would be the one to die is just straight up him taking a bullet for Luffy. This man will step in front of anything if it's ordered to save Luffy and to have Luffy fulfill his dream. Like, that's all Jinbe wants to see Luffy do, is just fulfill his dream at any single cost. While I will admit, I don't have the best reason for him not dying, but it makes the most sense to me. I just don't see him being the one to be killed off right away. He joined a crew, or officially joined the crew in Fishman Island. He really wasn't around though in the middle part until Wano. Like, he was in Whole Cake for a little bit, but you didn't really see him coming. Then you was told he was going to be in Wano. Then he came in like late into Wano. It just, for him to be killed off as soon as he like officially joined, it doesn't all add up. Moving on to our next character, Soul King Brook. The main reason I can die is because, like, well, yes, he has died before. Some people are gonna say, oh, he's already the Straw Hat that died. No. He's just like, I could see him being like, oh, like, you guys gave me a second chance at life. I'm gonna stay back and protect you guys. And it's not the first time he's put everything on the line to save the Straw Hats or do something for the Straw Hats. Like, for example, Whole Cake Island, when he stole the poneglyph from Big Mom. Like, that was huge. But is he really gonna die? Brook just isn't gonna die realistically. Well, yes, he can't. He has stood up to the big bad enemies before in Big Mom. He's just like, he's sad to say, like, same with Franky. He really has taken more of a side character role, and we're not seeing a lot of big stuff from him in the last couple arcs. Who knows, that could extremely change. I don't really see him taking a big role in Elbaf. I think Usopp is going to take a big role in Elbaf. Other than that, I just don't know when his time's going to come again. Moving on to our next Straw Hat, Sanji. Now, Sanji, unlike some of the previous ones, has a couple more reasons why he would die compared to the others. Whether you believe it or not, Sanji is one to put friends first. He did it in Whole Cake, and he does it throughout the series as well. He's always prioritizing the safety of his friends and the Straw Hats just in general. Like, he did it in Whole Cake, obviously, where he gave up everything just to make sure that the Straw Hats could stay alive and be safe. Another huge reason, now this is a bit more of one that's probably not going to happen, is the anime trope that he had. This man will do absolutely anything for Nami and Rob. Like, whether it's him getting on all fours and barking like a dog, whatever it takes to win them over and make them happy, he will do for them. Like, 100%, no questions asked. So it's not too unrealistic to see whether, like, Nami and Robin get captured for him to sacrifice his life or even take anything to protect them. Like, he will do anything to make sure they don't get hurt and they keep living. Like, he could realistically die protecting them. That is a huge thing that I think it's not the most realistic, but it could definitely 100% happen. Well, yes, as many reasons as, like, I gave for Sanji to be the one to die, I just don't see it happening. Like, these 4 characters that are coming up that I'm going to give the reasons for, I just see it happening way more for them than I do for him. And as much as I love Sanji, like, I just don't see it happening to him. That leads us to our next Straw Hat member, Robin. Robin's in this weird spot where I feel like she has a lot higher chance to die than some of the others, but is also probably the least likely to die at the same time. The reason for me thinking she will die is that she'll feel like she owes it to them, or does this whole sacrifice moment where she's like, you guys gave me a second chance at life, and I'm gonna go stand in front, take everything to protect you guys, maybe do like a big thing with her hands covering everyone to protect them. Also, another reason is everyone in the whole world is after her, because she is the last person that can read the poneglyphs. So if anyone can get her hands on her, they're gonna get her. Whether whoever it is, whether it's Blackbeard or the government, they're gonna try and get her. Whether it's the government, they'll probably eliminate her on the spot, or if it's the Blackbeard pirates, that's my main point on why I think she's the least likely, because she's also the most valuable person to every other big contender for the One Piece. So they're gonna want to keep her alive and make sure that they can, like, use her ability to find the One Piece as fast as possible. Before I move on to the final 3 who I realistically think have the highest chance of dying later on in the series, I think we have to give this honorable mention to Vivi. I feel like I have to add Vivi in here, because whether you think it or not, Vivi was probably the closest other person besides, like, the actual members of the Straw Hat crew to becoming a member of the Straw Hats. So I feel like I had to include her. I feel like she has a chance of dying because Emu is after her. So the major power of the government is after her. You don't really know what Emu wants with Vivi. It could be death. That's just a prediction. I don't think she's gonna die. I don't know if Oda would have talked about her when saying, oh, one of the Straw Hats will die. Like, I just don't think that's who he would have been talking about. I don't even know if he knows, but yeah, I think realistically, she has a tiny chance of dying, just not nearly as much as most of the members. Moving on to the Straw Hat member, which I feel like the most people think will die at the end of the story, Usopp. Now, all the points that are made for Usopp make complete sense, being this big one. His whole reason for joining the Straw Hats and becoming a pirate is to have this awesome adventure and become this amazing warrior. And everything he predicted and lied about in his stories to the kids and Kaya has become true. But also, the major thing is, most great warriors do end up dying at the end of the story, and that is the main big reason that a lot of people, including myself, believe that Usopp is going to die at the end of the story, because he's going to take this big heroic act. The whole story, he's been cowering in fear and running and hiding, but he's going to take this big heroic act. He's already viewed as a god. Like, yeah, he just already is. But at the end, he's going to take this big heroic act, and unfortunately, he's going to die. But also, like, I don't know if it's going to happen. The main reason why I don't think he will die is just because he's probably one of the last people to rush into battle. But he always finds himself in battle or in a major battle event. So that's why I think it still could really be likely him. But also, like, you just don't know with him. Like, it's a 50-50 shot, realistically. Moving on to the next Straw Hat, Zoro. My main big reasons for Zoro being the one to die is that he is always trying to prove that he is the strongest. And I feel like it could end up in like a way where I think he is going to beat Mihawk. Like, I just think that is going to happen. I feel like he's going to go against another like huge opponent later on in the series, and he might be being like, I'll die, but I'm going to take you with me type of thing, like proving that he is the strongest no matter what. Another thing is him just protecting the crew. Like most of the other Straw Hats will do everything in their power so that their crewmates can stay alive. I feel like Zoro is going to be one of the first to step up to make sure everyone makes it okay. He will be one of the first to step up and sacrifice himself. Also, I feel like the amount of loyalty that Zoro has towards Luffy is unmatched compared to the rest of the Straw Hats. While yes, all of them do have extreme amounts of loyalty towards Luffy, I feel like Zoro just really leads the pack with it, and Zoro will do anything to make sure that his captain can become king of the pirates. For example, look what happened in Thriller Bark. He was willing to take on all of Luffy's pain so Luffy didn't feel any of it. Like, that is the definition of loyalty and like showing that he wants to see Luffy succeed. I feel like the main reasons why I can think Zoro won't be the one to die is because I just don't see him dying before he beats Mihawk. I can see him probably and most likely could be dying after he beats Mihawk. But before he beats Mihawk, I feel like that's just a title that he will get at the end of the story. Like, I just don't see him not becoming the greatest swordsman, but he has to beat Mihawk first before he dies, and that would be the big thing. Moving on to the big man himself, Monkey D. Luffy. I have many different points for Luffy. First off, his story is very similar to Roger's. Like, they are super similar to each other. The connection is 100% there. Roger did die at the end of his story. Now, just looking at it from like a different perspective, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how Oda goes down that path and does end up having Luffy be like, oh, start a new pirate era. He's like, oh yeah, go find the One Piece again. Like, I could definitely see it being like that. So I could also see being like, Luffy, they find the One Piece. That will happen. They're gonna find the One Piece. I could see him being like, once he finds the One Piece, he does this big heroic act, or like, I guess it's not heroic act. He does this because he doesn't want to be a hero. He does this act where he then makes it so everyone else, all the other Straw Hats, can get out except for him, because he will then, once he gets the One Piece, he's completed his goal of finding the One Piece. Where also, of course, though, the other members need to complete their goals and their dreams. Well, also, we don't know Luffy's real goal. Like, it isn't finding the One Piece and becoming the Pirate King, but that's how he views completing his dream. So I could see Luffy doing a big act where once he becomes a Pirate King and once he completes his dream, he sacrifices himself and is like does a big thank you moment to everyone, being like, you guys gave me the greatest adventure ever and made me help me complete my dream. There also is the question of how much longer does Luffy really have left to live? Using his Devil Fruit abilities, I've read multiple places saying they do take away from his lifespan, and he has done that so many times. How long does he really have left to live? Also, the procedure he went through at Impel Down makes you really think, how many years does Luffy really have left to do things? Like, he might find out that he is dying. He will die a year after the One Piece is ending, or like once they find the One Piece. So he might sacrifice himself. Like I said before, might sacrifice himself, but he might not make it to the end. Now, this sucks to say, but my main reasons for him not dying is plot armor and the fact that it just could be someone else. Like, I think Luffy, honestly, at this point, he might die, but also there's so many reasons for so many other Straw Hats to die that it could be them as well. Like, so many other reasons for different members, it could be them as well. I can't say it's gonna for sure be one person, or you can't look at one of them and be, yes, they're 100% gonna die at one of the story, or they're 100% going to live, because all of them have pretty solid reasons to sacrifice themselves at the end of the story. Who knows, maybe all of them die, but overall, like, you can't, like, especially with Luffy, like, I can't say he's 100% gonna live, but also, like, there's so many other reasons for other Straw Hat members to die that they could be the one. Whatever happens, we know Oda is absolutely about to cook the ending of One Piece. It's gonna be fantastic. We know whoever is gonna die has meant to die, they have been planned out to die by Oda since the beginning, most likely. We just gotta let him cook. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It means a whole lot if you did make it to the end. Thank you. Let me know in the comments where you guys think I went wrong, or who you think is gonna die and why you think they're gonna die, if something other than what I said. Let me know. I'm really interested what you guys think. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And yeah, peace.